everybody, this is Perch. Got a mail here. This one starts out fun. It says, "Hello, Comics by Perch." I appreciate the full branding that you use there for the name. That's fun. All right, this says, "Hope all's well with you. If it matters, your voice in recent videos seems to return back to normal." Well, thank you. Fuck. It doesn't sound quite right in my head, but I'm glad. Take that how you will. Take it how you may, since you made repeated comments. You don't like the sound of your recorded voice. Maybe if you had better audio. Yeah, but I don't hear the better audio. I'm hearing my voice. You're hearing a shitty audio version. I'm going to try the new AirPods Pro 2 Max, whatever, the new one. It claims to have good noise canceling audio pickup. We'll see if that's any better. But will this show be the same if you no longer hear the dulcet tones of the Texas roads? Man, I can't wait until I'm out of this timeline and I move to a better state. Anyway, we're continuing this mail. It says, "Anyways, I don't know if anyone in your vast listening audience be interested in this topic, but I think it's comics adjacent. And I know how much you love to swim in those adjacent circles." That's true. I am Mr. Adjacent. That's who I am. I haven't been called that in a while. I've had this brief lull. It's so the people who come onto my channel or send me mail, it tends to go in weird waves where for like a week or two I'll get a lot of, hey, you're sounding too much like Comicsgate. You better not be a baddie. We're looking out for you here. Don't talk to those people. You mentioned Zach like 2 times in 1 month, and as you know, that means you're a Nazi. So you got to not do that. Anyway, I get those people. By the way, you may be like, "That's an absurd analogy." Yeah, it's not an analogy because people are shitty. But then they'll kind of die down. Then I'll get like a wave of 2 weeks of, "Hey, you cuck," you know. I don't know why I don't know why you say that DC won't die. It's totally happening next week. That's my inside source tells me. Anyway, it's weird. It just kind of, but it goes in. I rarely get them at the same time. Every now and then I push the right button. Like I talk about the Little Mermaid, Namor, and I try and stir all that shit up all together, and then I'll get people from both angles kind of coming at me. But I've had a brief lull in that. It's been nice. Maybe nobody gives a shit anymore. That'd be a wonderful outcome. I mean it, by the way. All right. Sorry, the little diversion. We were talking about how I was Hitler adjacent. All right, so I thought you could provide clarity on a question I've had for a while. Okay, here we go. Recently, a film was pulled from a film festival because it decided to try and clearly use DC characters in a clearly unlicensed manner that clearly invoked the legal department of Warner's. Which is this? The People's Joker. I did not hear this story, but it's on Deadline, and now I've got to go over and look at it. So we're interrupting the mail to go to the link that was posted in the mail. The People's Joker pulled from TIFF over rights issues at Toronto Film Festival. Oh, no. The People's Joker. Well, the logo is the Joker logo. Okay. The filmmaker has withdrawn this film due to rights issues. A statement posted to TIFF's official website. "We apologize for any inconvenience. Warner's did not respond to comments. Likely they were protecting their IP, copyright protection." Well, I mean, they're using the exact logo. "We don't have any further comments, blah, blah, blah." Does it talk the People's Joker? In the People's Joker, finally getting to the plot. So the Deadline just goes on and on with a bunch of bullshit. In the People's Joker, an aspiring clown, Drew, grappling with her gender identity, combats a fantastic Cape Crusader. So basically, and then there's a little picture of a woman. I mean, maybe grappling with her gender identity. There's a woman. Vera Drew is the Joker. TM. I have no clue how today goes. My team wants me to say nothing, so that we are waiting for you to watch the movie. Apparently, the movie's not coming out. She's dressed like the Joker. She's got green hair, white makeup, and a purple costume. And apparently, it's a woman dressed up in a Joker costume. I don't even understand. How is this a thing? I don't know. Grappling with the gender identity. Yikes! Like there's a bunch of your logo is literally the Joker logo with the Joker's mouth on it. Like what were you thinking? I mean, you can't do that. All right, well, fine. Anyway, a queer coming-of-age joke. Wait a minute. So, this movie, God, just wait till it's in public domain, at least. Fuck. You know what? Just to rip this off, I should just include the whole trailer in this video, because why not? Like, what are they going to come after me for copyright infringement? The copyright infringement. After years of numbing herself with Simlex, I'm assuming that's some gender dystopia thing. An unfunny clown named Joker grapples with gender identity, first love, and a fascist Cape Crusader while founding an illegal comedy theater in Gotham City. Come on! Okay, you get all right. We'll go back to the mail, but okay, you can't do this shit and then pretend that yeah. Screw you, Twitter. This person has 10.5K followers. More of you should follow me on Twitter. Free the Joker, the People's Joker movie. Ugh, stop. Just stop. Okay. All right. There you go. Back to your mail. Thank you for that. I'm gonna have to remember to put this bullshit into the video, so at least it's not just me. Anyway, my question. Okay, so back to the mail. My question then centers on how do Marvel and DC proper allow artists to sell sketches and drawings of their characters outside of them. I don't remember ever hearing about one of the big two going after artists for selling works of corporate IP not directed commissioned. Even allowing artists to keep and sell original pages that are commissioned for published comics seems not very business friendly for the corporation. There's an easy answer here. We'll get to it in a second. Now, I'm all for artists' rights, but this seems to be a dodgy area with the corporate complete opportunity to come crumbling down if companies one day decided enough is enough, and they may. Don't even get me started on the nude comic character art on porn sites that I clearly have no firsthand knowledge of. Okay. You are clearly a man of culture, so don't try and pretend you're not. Love to hear your take. Well, there's one very simple answer to this, and it is simple. And it's that legally, there's fair use margins where if somebody who drew a character, became famous for that character, is allowed to do reproduction, not reproductive, that's the porn sites, reproduction or related works of their art, they have in the past been allowed to sell them. So, for example, and there were some court cases that went through with this, a Disney animator who was drawing Mickey Mouse went to a state fair and drew Mickey Mouse, and Disney sued the person, and the person said they were doing kind of homage, work, basically reproductive work, Anyway, they were doing some work based on a character that was in their profession. And they were selling basically what Disney would have to prove, and what they couldn't prove, and they lost the lawsuit, which was rare for Disney. They had to prove that the work that was being done was financially harmful to their business, and that created a rub because the artist was able to successfully make the case that, hey, by me selling artwork, it's actually increasing the power of your brand at no expense to you. And so Disney was unable to basically prove in court that they were, financially damaged by this work going on. They tried to make the case that they were owed a cut, but because the artist, because it was a low amount, which does factor in. First, was selling it for millions of dollars, it would be there'd be more to the case. But because it was a low cut, and because it fell into the kind of this weird muddy domain of fair use, they were able to keep doing it. Now, part of the line, if you really want to get legal about it, is that it has to be more or less derivative work. They can't go off and make a completely new comic and create new work. So it has to be kind of within this boundary of fair use marketing. And it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes the big company wins. But enough losses happened. Enough when Disney lost and a couple of these other companies lost, it basically set up a scenario where there was it seemed likely that it would be a 50-50 gamble if the big company sued the artist. But was a 100% certainty is that it would create ripples within the artist community where nobody would want to work for the company. And so even though Marvel or DC may or may not be able to crack down and stop it, unless you're truly like this Joker movie, you're truly selling something where it's it's different from the brand. It's trying to make its own money. It's doing its own lore, but it's clearly borrowing, material that's paid for by the big company, but it's not, it's not necessarily promoting or anything new to it. It just that legally that's never going to win. But the companies, Marvel and DC, both decided that unless they truly felt like they were going to be damaged by it, going after creators, particularly at a comic convention, would very quickly give them a horrible reputation. And artists and creators would not want to work with them. And think about it, like if you're an artist and you're on a work for hire contract, you do a couple comics, and then you sell some commissions for, I don't know, $50, $100, not too much. And then suddenly Marvel comes in and tries to sue you. Well, number one, Marvel Disney would spend far more money than they would recover. So it is at a net loss. You'd basically be doing it to stop other people from doing it. But the opportunity for other people to do it is both small and nebulous. So, maybe you could get all comic book art, all Artist Alley art, all of that kind of stuff shut down where nobody could sell or do anything Marvel related. But imagine the horrible press for Marvel. They basically get something shut down that isn't really financially hurting them. In fact, arguably is spreading their brand. And in return, they would receive like massive backlash and bad publicity, and they would look terrible. So they basically do two things. They determine that we're going to really pay attention when somebody's trying to do something that has more of a financial impact, like say a movie. And two, we're going to kind of turn a blind eye to it. Some of the stuff I've seen at Comic Cons absolutely could probably be a lawsuit, no doubt about it. It's definitely possible it would be. But it's just enough of a hassle that it's not worth it. It's just not worth trying. So that's kind of where it falls. That's where it settles. In my mind, I mean, look, I'm a pragmatic guy. I mean, why would you bother? Including even the Joker's what is this fucking movie? The People's Joker. I don't know. This whole thing is humiliating enough. I wouldn't go through with it. I mean, gender identity film with somebody dressed up like the Joker. Why? Why would you bother? But sure, I guess do what you got to do. Anyway, that thing's never coming out. So, but who would want it to? I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, nobody wants this. Anyway, there you go. Hope that answers your question. Thank you for introducing me to this awful film, and thanks to all of you for listening.